Violent Night, a Christmas film starring David Harbour as Santa Claus that is set in a giant mansion for Christmas Eve with a rich family who ends up getting held hostage in the whole family's mother's mansion. And at the same time, Santa Claus is for some reason in the house delivering the gifts and eating all the food that they left out. And he ends up being, or starting to try and be, the diehard hero that they ever so desperately need at the time. And to get that out of the way, as I just said, this is basically a Die Hard film featuring a Santa Claus. Now, to get the good stuff out of the way, because I really want to start this on a very positive note, the action sequences, surprisingly, are actually well executed and well choreographed, well done overall. Not too many quick shots, which I already don't like quick shots, but the example is being Taken 3, the quick shots being all over the place. In Violent Night, when there are quick shots in the action sequences especially, they're actually very well placed. They aren't jarring, they don't get confusing, you actually know what's going on in the fight scenes. And that's one thing I really did love about Violent Night. The action sequences, believe it or not. And I'm not a huge fan on action or violence, at least not without a backstory to back up why that's essential for the story. Another thing I did like was that not so much every character, but quite a few characters actually had some backstory, including Santa Claus. And whether you like or dislike any of these backstories, at least they put in backstories for deep detail for some of these characters, and that I did appreciate, whether I liked or disliked some of them. I'm not going to explain which ones I liked and disliked, because I just feel that for your viewing entertainment, it would be better for you to have your own personal opinion and likes or gripes on that part of the film. And another thing too, Cam Gigandet, if that's how you say his last name, he's not in many things, but when he is in things, most of the time, he's a constant delight. He's always the funny bone, and that's what I do like about him as an actor. He can be very, very funny. I don't really like him in serious roles, but he definitely strikes it hard with a pass, and he succeeds immensely in comedic roles. And Violent Night is yet another one that he succeeds well in. Now to get to the good part. Violent Night, outside of all of those good things in this film, is also an atrocious abomination when it comes to Christmas. David Harbour. I don't know if the man just hates Christmas and hates just this world's economy, or maybe he just fucking hates himself, because this dude just cannot stop shitting on the economy, how money works. Apparently now he hates Christmas. Honestly, this film, Violent Night, is the most anti-Christmas film that you will ever watch. Sure, his Santa Claus has a redeeming arc in it, but let's be honest. I would say at least an entire hour of this film is dedicated to juvenile humor set to just make fun of Santa Claus's existence. Honestly, I understand it's very cliche, but when it comes to Christmas time, that's the one time in life that even I still cherish as a family tradition. And I've been through the ringer in life, very much so. But still, I can say that Christmas should be the time for family. So making any kind of film rated R is already a bit of a no-no when it comes to Christmas, but the fact that they made a film called Violent Night and made it this violent to the point where families can't even watch it together with their kids and everything, it's just downright abysmal, and I don't agree with it whatsoever. And just the fact that they just poke and poke and poke at everything bad that they can towards Christmas and towards its whole tradition. And honestly, at this point, David Harbour, I haven't watched Stranger Things since the first season when it first released on Netflix years ago. And I'm kind of glad that I stopped, because he's gone out of his way in interviews and making these kind of films to just show off how much he just despises his life. And apparently now Christmas too. His performance wasn't terrible. I'll give him that. It wasn't terrible, but his storyline as Santa Claus was just so terrible and atrocious, and it was just so deceitful to slap this on as a Christmas traditional kind of film, and it's not really just another generic action film. It's really not. It is pretty much like a Die Hard with Santa Claus, which is okay, but this is just so anti-Christmas. Like, if there's an ideology in this film, it's to try and get you to not only hate Christmas, but hate Santa Claus, hate traditional values, even hate the economy. Somehow they threw in slapdash fucking woke statements about how the economy in this world is garbage and how everybody is just greedy. You know what? This dude, David Harbour, that spouts all of these kind of lines, I understand he's an actor, he has to say lines. I'll bet you any money he improv'd that line in the intro, though. Here's the problem, though. David Harbour is part of the 1%. I've never, ever seen a single news article or anything where he has just voluntarily given out his own wealth. Not even to charities. Go to family members. Go to the homeless. Give somebody $50,000. I'm sure the dude has, I don't know, I'm just off the top of my head, I'm going to say he has at least $1 million in savings. Give somebody, just one person, $50,000. Then you can go around telling everybody how everybody is so greedy and everybody's a piece of shit. Because otherwise, dude, honestly, you're a hypocrite making these kind of films, and yet you act the exact same way. And also, don't even get me started on his stupid-ass rant about socialism, comparing it to Starbucks coffee and coffee grounds and stuff like that. It didn't make any sense at all. The dude's a moron. Plain and simple. But overall, for me, Violent Night, it has very little goods that, they're so outweighed by so many negative gripes and bad things about this film. This film, if this film were released in May, you could take it as, okay, it's just a funny Santa Claus action film. Fine. But they specifically released it at the beginning of December, trying to get it just pushed and grinded into the Christmas time tradition, even though this film bashes hard on anti-traditionalism and anti-Christmas and anti-everything having to do with December and Christmas and Santa Claus and everything, even the economy, like I said. So overall, for me, this film is a 4 out of 10. Thank you.